to number 4 in the red line How to Fiberglass video series. This one is more complicated. As before, what's really important is not necessarily the particular thing that I'm making. It's more a matter of the techniques that I'm using, which I think you'll be able to use and adapt to your own situations. I'm going to make a rear splitter to go underneath the back of my race car, and I'm going to make it from scratch. I'll wrap this polyboard on both sides with carbon fibre, making a sandwich. With race cars, this sort of construction is ideal for very strong and yet ultra lightweight flat panels and floors. There are a number of other lightweight materials you can use, like balsa wood sheeting for example. Or this polyurethane foam sheeting, which is about $40. Then again, there's this dense industrial sheeting called Clegg, but it's about 4 times the price. Small fiberglass hobby shops probably won't have heard of these specialised materials or even stocked them, but wholesalers or industrial suppliers will. If you can find a supplier, talk to them about which core sheeting material best suits your needs. And if you're on a really tight budget, you can still use things like aluminium, plywood, or even heavy industrial cardboard. Fiberglass cloth makes good sandwiches too. Kevlar is used for strength. Carbon fibre for strength and minimum weight. And while I'm at work, let me also mention there's a number of powders like Q-cells, Cabasil, Aerosil that you can use to thicken out your resins. Don't be afraid to ask your industrial supplier what these powders are for and how you might be able to use them. This is 5mm polyboard. You can get it up to about 10mm thick, but 5mm thick was the only one that my hardware shop had. It's the sort of stuff that real estate agent signs are made out of, but this time, as you can see, I actually went and bought some. I've cut a piece the width and the depth that I want the top of the rear splitter to be. And this piece of board will form the foundation for my rear splitter that I'm going to make. I fitted my 2 end plates, and now I need to put reinforcements to hold the 2 middle ribs. But this is where I've got to do a bit of careful thinking. That's because it's not the edge of this which should be positioned on the centre lines that I've marked on the baseboard, but rather the centre of the material that this is going to hold, which I'm going to epoxy in place. This job is also complicated because I can't just lay the cloth in one session. I've got to do it in many sessions, a little bit at a time, one side and then the other. I'm about to do the final layer on the rear splitter, the one in which I want the material to be in a really neat pattern. So I've made this rig to hold the splitter in place, just to make it a little bit easier to lay this final layer. This rear splitter only weighs 2 kilos, but how strong is it? Let's find out. Let's give it a real test. I don't pretend to know everything about carbon fibre or fiberglass technologies, and I'm deliberately staying away from a couple of commercial techniques, because my goal instead is to encourage people at home to have a go with this material on their race cars. And as for the experts, well, you make your own videos. Think how easy it would be to use what I've shown you in this video to make something completely different, like say for example an airbox. Just cut it out of polycore sheeting, tape it together with masking tape, put a piece of PVC on either end for your air input and your output, and fiberglass or carbon fibre over it. I think I just talked myself into having to make another video. Remember, if you're using fiberglass instead of carbon fibre in the way that I've shown you in this video, you'll need to put your cloth on first and then lastly finish coat. Thanks for watching.